I have the pleasure of having Todd Hutchings again, and Todd is making waves in arm wrestling. How you doing, Todd?
I'm doing well, doing very well.
Good, man. Yeah, it certainly seems like it. It looks like you're in the groove of elite arm wrestlers all over again.
Well, maybe I made that groove. I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely did. That's for sure. So, yeah, you have a big match coming up this weekend with this Australian wrestler, arm wrestler, Lachlan Adair. Is that how you spell his name? I don't
I
know.
think it's Lachlan.
Lachlan. Sorry,
Yeah.
my.
Well, don't apologize to me. I mean, I
Yeah,
didn't name him.
yeah. He didn't come on my show. Frig him. I don't even know who he is.
Yeah. Go apologize to his mom.
So what happened? How
You
did you
can
land?
call him Lachlan if you want. I don't care.
Yeah, as long as I pronounce your name right. So how did this happen? How did this whole super match come to be?
There was talk about us pulling. Man, my memory with this COVID robbed like a year from me. I think it was 2019 or maybe it was 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And there's supposed to be some big money, but COVID shut basically Australia down.
Oh,
I mean, when
nice.
COVID went through Ohio, I didn't really notice it. I mean, evidently there were curfews, and well, Walmart made you wear a mask and they put one-way stickers on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you would have no idea we had COVID.
Right.
I went to California, and the hotels wouldn't let you sit in the lobby. If you were the only one there, they would go, the lobby's closed. I go, I'm alone. No, lobby's closed. Go outside.
Yeah, it was, and it turns out that whether you're a red state or a blue state, the amount of COVID did not stop, going through people. It didn't stop being contagious, so it didn't work at all.
But in red states, there weren't people jogging outdoors wearing masks.
Yeah, absolutely. That was me. I would go jogging outside when all the gyms were closed, and I see people jogging, bike riding with masks on. I'm like, what the hell is whatever? It is what it is. To each his own, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. About Lachlan.
Oh, well, so that got shut down because of COVID. So I'm trying to figure out. I think it was in October. Travis Bagent just called me up and asked me if I was willing to pull him. And I said, I'll do it for, this amount of money. Travis goes, I'll give you that amount of money. And I go, okay, then.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so let's do it. So, I mean, it's nothing real exciting. No, like, Rocky V movie or anything. So.
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty exciting because this is like a young dude who looks very strong. And it's like the young lion versus the old lion.
They're all young dudes.
Yeah, right. So now you also had like a big match against Corey West a few months ago, and were you an underdog?
No. I was probably favored in that match, but I was probably favored more on name recognition than anything else. Mm-hmm. There's no scientific reasoning to these polls, and there's no like odds makers or anything. It's really hard to handicap an arm wrestling match because months go by in between them. You can't go visit training camps. There's no absolute measure of strength or something. I mean, when they try out football players or something, they lift weights, they throw balls, they run like a 50-yard or feet. I don't know. They run some distance, so there's some empirical measurements, where you can gauge a football player or a basketball player. There's nothing like that for arm wrestling. So people go out and make the prediction videos and the analysis videos, but it's just guessing. It's just pure guessing.
Right. Well, I mean, Corey West is a big dude. How much did he outweigh you by?
He outweighed me by a whole nother middleweight. I think he was like 209 pounds heavier than me.
Holy shit. So
maybe it wasn't that big. Lisa Wolfley.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if you've ever had RVJ on. Me and RVJ together weighed what Corey West weighed.
RVJ, who's RVJ?
Rob Vidget Jr. He's like he was winning the 195 WAL class when WAL closed. So he's he's like America's #1 middleweight. You know.
Okay. Yeah, he is a big dude, and that's got to say something about technique. I would think that you would not be able to overpower him.
Well, that's funny. I couldn't top roll him, but I did overpower him.
Oh, okay. So much did I know. What do I freaking know?
Yeah.
So it was a super match?
Different people have styles.
It was a super match?
Yep. It was, I think it was 5, best of 5.
Okay.
I think it was the first person to win. I'll be honest, I can't remember. The rules change all the time, but I think it was the first person to win 3-1.
Oh, okay. So you won, and you won 3 out of. Okay, you won 3-1.
I think it was 3. Right. I think we went 3-2. He pinned me the first match, and I think I followed out a match.
Okay. Now, once he pinned you the first match, were you like, okay, I could kind of see his style now. I see what he's doing. Now I can make the adjustments.
He pinned me so fast and so quickly, man. I thought I was about to take a butt whooping.
I was going to say that.
I thought he was going to drive over me 3 more times.
Yeah. Well, then how did that second match go?
I gripped him a little higher, and that prevented him from that took him out of his groove just enough to slow everything down to where I could deal with it. But yeah, that first match he beat me fast and convincingly, and it was that was scary. You hate losing the first match.
Well, yeah, it's got to destroy your confidence, right? It's got to be like, fuck.
Well, it does.
Plus, you got to pull yourself up.
I mean, you can think you have multiple plans, plan A, plan B, but nobody really does. They got their pet move, and then they got stuff they do when they're desperate.
Yeah, and then plus when you lose the first one, you got to kind of pull yourself out of a hole that you're in now.
Yeah, because you're down 1, and you got to figure out what you're going to do different, and you're not given, like minutes. I think you're given like 90 seconds to try and figure out what you're going to do next. Right. And the hardest thing is you don't get to see the match. You didn't watch it, so I don't know where his shoulders were, where his feet was, how he was gripping. I'm only going by what I felt, and in a match, I tend to get tunnel vision anyways, so I don't even see a lot of stuff, So it's for me, it's really hard to adapt if something goes awry because it would be different if I could sit back and watch the match,
right,
and then go back up there and try something. That would like change the outcome a bunch.
Sure, absolutely. Now, after you beat him, you were pretty excited.
Yep, I broke the table.
Yeah, you did. You broke the table.
I knocked the lights out. They had lights on the table, and I hit it hard enough to make the lights go off.
Oh Christ! Did what's his name get pissed off? Did Travis get pissed off? Like, dude.
Nobody gets mad at Toddzilla.
All right, good. All right, nobody said a word.
Toddzilla's loved by everybody.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say feared by everybody.
No, he's not. Nobody fears him.
Oh, okay. All right, good. So now you got this guy Lachlan Adair coming up. Have you watched his style? Have you watched him at all?
Oh, I've actually pulled with him before.
Oh, all right. How'd that end?
Yeah, he's got a few matches out there. They got some big people in Australia. He doesn't have a lot of arm wrestling matches, but there's a few of them out there on YouTube. But no, I've actually pulled against him back in, I'm going to guess, 2017, 2018, I think.
And where was that?
In Australia.
Oh, you traveled out there. Now he's coming here, right?
Now he's coming here. I went to Australia for 2 weeks. The job I had wanted me to go visit a customer, so I worked out a deal where if my job paid for the plane ticket, I wouldn't charge them for food or hotel. So I went out there for 2 weeks. The first week I just did my job, and the second week was on vacation. So, worked I think the plane ticket was, I don't know, $1,400 or something. So yeah, I got 2 weeks in Australia because when I was working, that's only 8 hours out of the day. So, I had half a week. I had a week and a half out there to just screw around and see Australia. So it was pretty cool.
What is it that you do for a living that you had to go out there?
I was an engineer back then. I was designing trucks, and Vermeer's a Scandinavian company, but they got a great big dealership in Brisbane. So they wanted a custom line of trucks designed just for Australia. So I was going out there to see what they had, what they wanted, how to design them a truck.
And how'd you like Australia?
It was interesting. Very, very varied. Different parts of Australia were interesting. I'd definitely go back. I wouldn't want to live there, but the politics are just a little overbearing. But no, I like the country. There's a lot of funny stuff down there to go see. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, if you've never been, I would definitely recommend everybody go.
Yeah, there's another YouTuber. He's Australian who does arm wrestling. Jake, or I think it's called the Aussie Arm Wrestler, actually.
Yeah, I've been on the show. He's great. He's funny.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I tried starting a fake beef with him.
And that would be hard because he's always happy.
Yeah, that was the problem, because I actually messaged him, and I was like, dude, I'm going to start a fake fight with you. And he's like, what? And he's like, who the hell are you? And I was like, I have a YouTube channel, and I got an interview coming up, and I'm gonna spit shit at you. And then he goes, I was like, and he's like, all right, let's do it. And it just died. At the end of a Gabby V interview, and she was great because I told her we were gonna do it. And she was like, yeah, no problem.
Gabby something. She's one of my favorite arm wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, she's great. I've had her on twice, and so she went with it. She was laughing. It was no problem. And then he fired back, and then I fired another one back, and then that was it. It was dead after that. Didn't work out so good. But he's a super nice guy. We still keep in touch, and I still send him links. Like I'll send him this, and vice versa, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, from what I understand, it's a beautiful country. And so, how good is this guy, Lachlan? I mean,
he's the number one in Australia.
Yeah, but that ain't saying much. It's Australia.
He's a continental champion.
Oh yeah,
and I'm the champion of Ohio. So
yeah. But you're in a big pool. You're in a big sea of a lot of fish. He's the big fish in the small pond.
There's like this layer of
if you tell me
all arm wrestling, none of it's really real. So.
If you tell me that he was he's the best guy in Russia, I'd be like, oh shit, man.
Well, if he was the best guy in Russia, he wouldn't be pulling my bony ass.
Yeah, be going up against Levon.
He'd be pulling some big guy.
Yeah. So how good is he? When you pulled him last time, how did that end up? How did that?
My guess is. He's probably he would probably be a national level puller here. I think if he was in the super heavyweight class with me, just take me out of it. I don't think he would be up there with Michael Todd or Devin Lorette, but I think he would be where like Matt Mask and Marcio Barbosa is. The super heavyweights in North America, there's tiers. Like there's this top group of people, then there's this bottom. I'm in this second group of people, and there's a gap between the two. I mean, you can climb and fall in this gap. It's really hard to jump from this group to that group.
Right.
It's easy to fall from this group to this one, but it's really hard to get back up there.
Yeah, right.
So I would put him down in the group with me. I would put him I'd make him a second tier super heavyweight North America.
So is he going to win any of the arm wrestling matches?
Matches are
you're going to run right through them.
It's very rare to have a close super match. And even if the score is 3-2, it's usually somebody's very dominant in the super match. These super matches probably aren't. I'd be willing to bet. I don't know, but I'd almost be willing to bet the guy who wins the first match wins more than half the super matches. Super matches tend to be 4-0, 5-0, 3-0. It's very rare to get a back and forth in a super match.
Yeah.
So the score doesn't really win or lose matters. The score really doesn't. If you lose 4-0 against the guy or lose 3-2, that's probably a 0.5% difference in the loser's ability,
Right.
Because reffing has too much to do with it. The traveling, the table, the rules, all of that stuff is probably more significant at that point. So, yeah. I mean, now if you made it like best of 11, now you might be talking about something. But as long as it's best of 5 or 6, it probably doesn't really matter.
So what you're trying to say is he's got no chance. He might as well just give you the trophy and walk away.
He ought to just get back on that plane and go home. But
Yeah.
I don't get paid unless I arm wrestle. So he better come up at least once.
He better show up. Yeah.
I've gotten 0 money so far.
So show up and lose and go home, basically. That's what
there you go.
All right. Sounds pretty good, man. So what do you think? You got a couple of good super matches coming up. What do you think about the Gabby V and Sarah Bachman one coming up again at the King of the Table?
Sarah is probably one of the best of the current crop. She's probably one of the best arm wrestlers. And I'm not saying best female arm wrestler. Sarah's probably one of the best overall arm wrestlers probably in the last 20 years.
Okay.
Gabby is my favorite arm wrestler of all time.
Yeah, big difference.
So you're asking me a prediction between somebody who I know is elite. Now, Gabby's elite too, but Gabby's just my favorite arm wrestler because she's one of those bite your tongue and let's just smash.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I always root for Gabby,
I think a lot of people are picking Gabby, but I wouldn't, as me and Gabby, we keep in touch, via social media. She's been on my podcast twice. She's a sweetheart of a person. I know how great she is. She's, probably the best woman
I've never met
ever.
her. I've never met her and I've never talked to her.
Oh, really? I would never count Sarah Bachman out. No,
it's like I said, she's one of the greatest arm wrestlers I've seen.
Right. What makes her so different from the other girls?
Sarah or Gabby?
Sarah.
Have you seen her? Sarah is like a freaking training machine.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got a lot of years. You lift weight, 15, 20 years, you can put a lot of mass on a body, in 15 or 20 years.
Absolutely.
And Sarah is solid everywhere.
Yeah, that's the truth. She's an athlete's athlete.
Yeah, she approaches it like an athlete. She's just not like a tough guy going out there. She's actually an athlete. She trains different styles, different skills. She's very varied. Now, she's somebody who can probably change in between match 3 and match 4 or something like that and actually change the outcome or the trend of a super match.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah is a fully complete athlete.
Yeah. No, I've seen
she'd probably be good at, gymnastics or volleyball or any sport. She'd probably be good at any sport she picked up.
Right.
Gabby's just a battler, man. She's a gladiator. So, that's why I like her.
Yeah, Gabby is, and I interviewed her and I said, what do you do with all your world titles? Do you just take the next one off of your neck and throw it in the pile of the rest that you have? Because she's got like 30 something of them, and she's that good. She's amazing. And she doesn't quit. Like what I mean is she doesn't take breaks. She's always training, always, putting the work in. But now what about Levon and Devin? What do you think about that one?
I think Devin's the underdog in that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Levon's got a power advantage. Devin's one of those very versatile, athletic type arm wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have to check this. I think Levon's got like a perfect record in super matches. I don't know if that man's lost a match out of the last 4 or 5 super matches. That guy might be 30-0 on super matches.
Really? Yeah, I gotta check it out. I have not checked.
He's either so strong, style doesn't matter,
right?
Or he's smart enough to change things and not give up a match.
Right. Not
giving up a match in over a period that long is impressive.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure. And
I mean, it doesn't mean he can't lose. It just means that it's a bigger accomplishment if you beat him. So.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are still picking Devin because, I don't know, it could be a combination of most of the people I'm speaking to are either American or Canadian. So they're picking him because they might be a little partial, or they have seen him rise through the ranks and get better and better and better. He's pretty much the best one, the best arm wrestler of the West, of the United
Probably
States,
for North
Canada, and
America,
Mexico.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He's probably the best guy out there. I mean, he's beaten everybody. He beat John Brzenk pretty convincingly, blasted right through him.
He didn't beat Dennis and Plinkoff, though.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
See, with COVID, I don't know. It could have been 2 years or it could have been 4 years. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. He did lose to Dennis, but that was Dennis is another guy who's a freaking age. I mean, he just looks like a Clydesdale,
And Levon makes Dennis look small.
Small, that's right. That's right. You're right about that. Yeah. So now what about Michael Todd and Gennady? What do you think about that one?
I stopped betting against Michael Todd 15 years ago. I thought several people were going to beat him, when that Kings move first came out. And I have always lost money on Michael Todd. I mean, I've always lost money betting against him.
Right.
Yeah. Gennady, yeah, I think Gennady's the underdog in that one.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, and I think Michael has something to prove after his last match with Devin. I think he's out there to prove his point.
I think Michael Todd's been up in the elite ranks, and I think Michael Todd's been living here, and Gennady's climbing into it.
Yeah, right. Because I had the privilege of interviewing him too, and this was after his super match with Devin, and he was pretty serious. He said, "I hate losing." He goes, "I'll do whatever it takes. I hate losing." Guy trains like an animal. It's all about arm wrestling to him. He's still interested in getting stronger and bigger and beating people and so on and so forth. So it looks like just like any other elite athlete, even like yourself, he's just looking to win and do his best.
Yeah, I spent 4 or 5 days with them at their house, and that dude is arm wrestling or thinking about arm wrestling or talking about arm wrestling the whole time. I mean, there's not a moment, even when we are playing pool, he's talking arm wrestling.
Really? Okay.
The guy never stops talking arm wrestling.
Just obsessed. I wonder what it's
training like it, discussing it, debating it. Yeah, I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, I mean, you would probably like it. But I'm telling you, as a guy who's done it, I go, yeah, okay, this game's gotten old already.
Yeah.
And they don't drink. So I'm down there drinking beer in front of 2 completely sober people while they want to talk arm wrestling.
Yeah. Did you try to change the subject? Be like, whatever, like, oh, it's nice weather out today, isn't it? Just anything.
Yeah, well, we started I did change the subject because Michael Todd got me on this whole ramen noodle recipe kick, man. So,
oh Jesus,
yeah, they live in an interesting house. So, like the whole time we were there, we were just cooking ramen noodles in different fashions, man. I go, I'm gonna start my own channel and I'm gonna do just ramen recipes.
Wow, ramen noodles. Not for nothing, but I never even knew what ramen noodles were until I moved to Jersey.
Oh, we'll go down to Arkansas. I'll tell you what, that Rebecca Todd can cook you up some ramen noodles.
Yeah, it's so funny because growing up Italian and living in New York, it's like ramen noodles. What the hell is that?
You guys are all cheesesteaks.
Well, that's Philadelphia.
Oh,
yeah. If you're not making the macaroni yourself, there's no store bought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But listen, man. So you feel ready? You feel like you're going to just run through them? We got January 8th, Saturday. Can you watch it on a live stream or pay-per-view or anything like that?
I believe it's on Ryan Bowen's channel and it's pay-per-view.
Okay. So it's January 8th, which is this Saturday. What time?
I have no idea. And all arm wrestling matches start late. So I'm driving there Friday after work and they'll tell me that.
Oh, how far of a drive is it for you?
I don't know. I think it's like 6 hours. It's not too bad.
Oh, that's not that bad. Yeah, that's not
No.
that bad. Does the drive bother you when you get to the table, or do you have any kind of like?
No, because I'll be driving Friday. The match won't. I don't think the match is till like 3:00 on Saturday.
Oh, all right, good.
Yeah, and I would prefer driving from Ohio to Virginia than flying from Ohio to anywhere. So
Right. Now, have you been training hard for this one?
I've been training as hard as I always have. So
Okay,
nothing's, I changed the exercises around a little bit, but the basic routine really hasn't changed. The volume goes up some as you get stronger, but the nuts and bolts of it really hasn't changed.
Yeah. So I'm going to put this up by today is Wednesday. I'm going to have this out by Friday. So that everybody sees it before the match on Saturday. I'm going to try to have it out like a Friday, basically midnight, Thursday into Friday. So do you have anything to say to Lachlan Adair?
Sorry about your performance at the match, but go enjoy the country. We got a lot of beautiful things to see here in Virginia. Go hit the East Coast, get some crab cakes in Maryland.
But that was the nicest insult I ever heard in my life.
Well, I'm one of the nicest arm wrestlers you've ever met.
I thought maybe you were going to call him ugly or something or anything,
Nah, there's that role is filled by every other arm wrestler currently competing.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. That's for sure. Listen, Todd, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks again. It's always a pleasure. You're a great guy to have on, and I'll be rooting for you. I know you're going to win. I mean, I don't know Lachlan, but you've been in the game way too long, and you know too many tricks, and you've been doing it for too long. You've been a champion for too long. I don't see how the other guy wins. So
thank you very much.
You're very welcome, man. And then when you beat him, and then you're going to go on to bigger and better, come back on and shit talk to that person too.
There you go. I'll come on and wish him a happy trip to America.
Todd, thanks a lot, brother. Have a good night.